So, hey everyone, how are you? So, today we are going to cover some of the most asked interview questions, and we are going to cover questions that are asked in product based company like Angel One, Amazon, Google, Flipkart, and many more. So, let's start with our first question. So, this question has been asked by me also in Angel One. What they want us to do, we want to find users whose salary increased by 10% from the last year. We want to have those employees whose salary is greater than 10% or increased by 10%. They should increase the salary by 10% from the previous salary. That's what we want to have, right? How we can do this question? Let's have a look. So I'm going to use self-join in this question. How we are going to perform self-join? Let me tell you that in the form of Excel sheet. If you have seen my self-join video, then it will become more easy for you. Okay, so let's consider this table as two tables. I'm considering it as A one time, and another time I'm considering it as okay. So what my condition is, I want to compare employees, right? What I want to compare employees, this year's salary, this year, with their previous year, right? Previous year will be year minus one, right? Previous year will be year minus one. Am I correct? This salary, this year's salary should be equals to previous year's salary by 10%. And what is 10%? What is 10%? Increased by 10%. So total salary will be 100. 10% will be plus 10, which is equals to 110. And it will be a percentage. If we are going to remove that percentage, then it will be 110 divided by 100, which is equals to 1.1. So we'll multiply it by 1.1. I hope it is clear with you. Total salary will be 100%, and we are adding 10% to it. That will be 110%. But I want to convert it into a number. If I will remove this percentage sign, I'll divide it by 100, which is 1.1. I hope you get that now. So what I want to have this year's salary with previous year's salary. So how can I do it? From one table, my own in my own condition, I'll say that from one table I'll take previous year's salary, which is 2020, right? Let me write on condition over here. Will be this year should be equals to A dot this year should be equals to B dot year minus 1. Okay, did you get that? So this year will be 2023 and should be equals to my previous year minus 1, which is 2022. From here, I'll get 2022. Okay, and their employee ID should be same too. In my condition only, I'm going to compare one with one only, na? So, and A dot employee ID should be same as my B dot employee ID. Is this clear? This will be my own condition. And then what my condition is that their salary should be equals to 1.1 into previous salary. So in where clause I'll say that A dot salary should be equals to 1.1 into previous year's salary, which is B dot salary, right? Let me write over here. Previous year will be B dot salary. Is this clear with you? Now if you will compare one with one, here you can see that 7,700 and here it is 7,000. So let me see whether they are same or not. So 70,000 into 1.1 will be what? Let's see that equals to, so it is 7,700. So we will get 1 over here, right? A dot salary is equals to my B dot salary. By mistake, I have written year over here. It will be salary. I hope I am able to make you understand this thing. I know this question is a little bit twisted. What am I doing is first I'm comparing this year with the previous year, right? And I'm going to compare same employee ID with same employee ID only, right? And then my condition is that my this year's salary should be equals to my 10% increase from my previous year's salary. 10%, how I did it? In 100, I just plus 10, increase by 10%. Total salary is 100%. And if I will increase by 10, it will be 110%, right? And this is in percentage. Uh, if I will compare it in number, then 110% will be divided by 100, which is 1.1. I hope it is clear now. So that's what I am doing over here. So this will be my one, employee ID 1. This year salary was 77,000, and previous year I just multiply it with 1 on 1 and I am getting that. We have two, salary was 88,000, and is it same as 2022? Let's see that. So I'll say that I want to multiply by 1 on 1. Whom I want to multiply? 80,000 I want to multiply. So I'll write 80,000 over here. So yes, this is also same. Who is also the employee ID? The salary has been increased 10%. Then we have 3. So in 3, our salary is 99,000, right? It should increase by 10%. So 1.1 into what? Into my 9,000. Will I get that also? Let us see. Right over here, 90,000 equals to. So yes, all these three employees are there and their salary has been increased 10% more than the previous year's salary. I hope it is clear to you guys. Let me give you an overview a little bit faster. Okay. What we have to do in my question, I want to compare salaries, right? I want to have only those employees. I want to have only those employees. Um, just a second. I want to compare salaries. I want to have those employees whose salary is equals to 10% of the previous year's salary, right? 10% more than previous year's salary, 10% more than previous year's salary, right? So what we did, we are doing that this year. So what we did, so this year is, if we are considering 2023 as this year, then my previous year will be, if we are considering 2023 as this year, then previous year will be year minus 1, right? So year minus 1 will be 2022. So I'll get 2022 records over here. Am I right? That's what we did. Is this clear? Now we are comparing for each employee, we are comparing whether their salary is increased by 10%. And what does this 10% means? 10% means total salary will be 100%. We are plusing them with 10% increase, which will be 110%, right? And 110% in numbers will be 110% in number will be whenever we are removing a percentage sign, we divided it 100. So it will be 1.1. That's how we did every question. So we are comparing each employee salary. We are comparing each employee salary, this year's salary, with the previous month, whether they have increased 10% or not. So to increase 10%, I'm just multiplying them with 1.1. Is this clear with everyone? What am I doing right now? I hope it is clear with you. You can do the same question with multiple methods. I have given you one method. I will be looking forward to your methods also in the comment box. Okay. So I have just told you how we will be going to do that. Right now, I'm going to tell you the syntax also. Okay. From, I told you to combine this table as two different tables. B. But my condition is, first condition is the employee ID. For same employee ID, I'm going to compare, right? So the employee ID should be same. One more thing is there that A dot year, I'm going to compare this year with previous year. So B dot year minus 1 will be your previous year. Did you get that? And what my condition is? The condition is that A dot salary should be equals to my 1.1 multiplied by B dot salary, which is their previous year salary. Is this clear with you? I want to have those employees whom this is working, right? So I'll take star over here. we will consider the column that we want to have. Okay, let me have a look towards my table again. Employees, P dot employees, A dot employee ID should be equals to my B dot employee ID. A dot year minus B dot year. Yeah, yes. And then we have to compare. Okay, okay. Yeah, it should increase. So it will be, this is my A salary. Okay. So I'll multiply it over there. I'm comparing the salaries over there. So I will multiply it like this. So here you can see that we got those employees whose salary have been increased 10% more than their previous in their salary. Their salary should increase 10%, right? That's why I'll multiply it over here. And what I want to have? I want to have employee ID from A table. Then I want to have their employee name. That's all I want to have. I'll add these two columns over here. I hope this is clear with everyone. That's how you can do this question. Okay, and this question has been asked by me also in Angel 1. Then we have another question that has been asked in Amazon, which we did multiple times, that we need to find out second highest salary. Okay, we need to find out second highest salary. We can do multiple methods, but right now I'm using it with the help of window function. So how we can do that? I'm going to use dense rank. Okay, so I'll be using dense rank to rank them over according to what? According to my salaries in descending order. From which table? From my employees table. So here you can have a look that I can rank them on the basis of the salary in descending order. Now I just want to have second highest salary, right? So I'll just save it in my CTE. I say that I want to have those employees. Select star from CTE where my RK equals to what? Second highest I want, so it will be 2. If you want third highest, just remove it with 3. If you want fourth, you can remove it fourth, and so on. Second highest salary will be of Charlie, which is 90. Is this clear? And this question has been asked in Amazon also. Okay, let's move towards our second question. We need to have those employees who made purchased on 3 consecutive days. First, we need to understand what a consecutive days means. So what do you guys mean by consecutive days? So let me tell you what consecutive means. Consecutive means order one after another. So for example, someone has purchased in 4th April, then he should purchase in 5th April also, as well as in 6th. So we want to have those employees who have made purchased like this in 3 consecutive days. Is this clear with you? So how are we going to do that? What are we going to do it? We can do the same question with multiple methods, but I am going to use lead and lag over here. I'm going to use window function over here, so I'm going to use lead. Okay. What am I going to do with the help of lead? First, I'll see the previous month, previous day. What I'm saying, next day. Next day. Let me show you, and we'll show you by that. Star, lead. What I want to have? I want to have for the purchase date. Purchase date. I want to have the next number only. So in second perimeter, I have just written 1 over according to what? Partition by my user ID. For different user ID, I want to have different, and order by my purchase date, right? So it will give me my next order by next purchase date for the same user ID, right? I'm going to give the alias as next day over here, as next day. Okay, like when they have made the second purchase. Same I'm going to do with the help of, I want to have next to next also, because I want to see 3 days, right? For next to next, I am going to write 2 over here. I'm going to give the alias over here as day after next day. From which table it is? From my, what's my table name? Purchases. And one more thing, for create and insert syntax of these tables, I'm going to provide it to you in the description box. I'll provide you one drive link. In that particular drive link, all these table create and insert syntax will be written. Okay. So let me show you my result first. So here you can see that for a single user ID, you are getting their purchase date, you're getting their next purchase date, and their next to next purchase date also. Right over here. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to see the difference. The difference between them is 1, and the difference between these two also is 1. Then that is consecutive, right? If the difference between these two, 4, 5 minus 4 will be 1, right? If it is happening on the next day, then it will be this, right? And similarly, if the difference between these two, 5 minus 6, is also 1, the 6 minus 5 is also 1, and that means these are happening one after another, right? Are you able to understand me? What am I saying right now? Or you can compare with the first one also. If 6 minus the first date was 2, then it will be consecutive. Are you able to get that? That's what am I going to do over here. If that person is purchasing one after another, then comparing it from the first, it should be the next date. It next date should have a difference of one date only. For next to next, it will be two only. If that's not the case, then it's not consecutive, right? That's what we are going to do over here. I'm going to save it in CTE. So, what am I doing? I want to have my user ID from which table? From my CTE table. Which user ID I want to have? Where my next purchase and the first purchased. So, where my date if I want to have the difference in day. First, I'll write down the interval. Then my starting date. So, my starting date will be purchase date, right? Purchase date. Ending date will be my next date. Next day. If the next day have a difference of 1, then it will be my next, right? And as well, if I will say date if and my next to next day, you can have the difference between next day and day after next day, then it will be 1. If we are taking purchase date and day after next date should be 2, then it is also a consecutive, right? That's what we are going to do over here. I hope it is clear to everyone. So 101 is the only user ID who is doing this consecutive purchase. Okay, is this clear with you? So what am I doing is, let me explain it to you again a little bit faster. For example, we have a user ID 1. Okay, this user ID has made the first purchase in 4th April, then in 5th April, then 6th April. You know that it's consecutive. How will you know that it's consecutive? So if the difference between first, like the difference between 4 April and the next purchase is 1, then it's consecutive. And what's the another thing? We have to see 3 consecutive days. The difference between 4 April and next to next purchase, which is 6 April, is 2, then also it's consecutive. So that's what we are doing over here also. With the help of lead, I am finding out the this, like when their next purchase is and when their next to next purchase is, then we are differencing them together. If the differencing between next purchase is 1, then it's consecutive, and if the difference between next to next purchase is 2, then these 3 dates are consecutive. I hope it is clear with everyone. I wish to, I want you guys also to try in the comment box. I want to see your methods also. Same question can be done in multiple methods. I have given you my methods. I want you guys to try yours as well. Okay, great. Now we are going to move towards more question. So our next question is we need to find product with highest total revenue. Okay, let's see our orders table. In orders table, we have order ID, we have product ID, and here you can see that this question has been asked in Flipkart. I have mentioned everything where these questions are asked and how you have to do the solution. I'm going to provide you all these things in the form of doc in the description box itself. You can have a look over there. Okay. Rank restaurant daily orders. Okay, I was looking forward to Flipkart question. I'm sorry. Get product with highest total revenue. We have order ID, we have product ID, we have the restaurant ID also, price, quantity, and order date. If you will see properly, we don't have revenue. We have price and quantity. So what the revenue is? What the revenue is? So revenue is the multiplication of price and the number of quantities sold, right? That's what our revenue is. So we need to find out that only. So we need to have those products with highest total revenue. First, we need to find out the revenue. I'll take my product ID, have the product, and to have my revenue, I'm going to multiply them together. So price into quantity. It's from which table? It's from my table orders. Let me show you. So for each product ID, you will get the price and quantity. So here you can see that my product ID are repeating. We need to have the total of them. So how we can have total? By using sum, right? Sum is our aggregate function. And here you can see that this is our aggregate function. With that, we are using a non-aggregate column. So we have to use group by. And in group by, we will add our non-aggregate column, which is product ID. So let me run it. For each product ID, you will get a total revenue. I'll write over here as total revenue as my alias. Okay. Each product ID, I got the revenue, right? Now what we have to do, we have to find out that product with the highest total revenue. So what we will do, save it in my CTE. And I'll say that I want to have my product ID and my maximum I want to have that product with highest total revenue. So I'll say that I want to have my product ID, right? From which table? From which table I want to have it? Uh, 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 uh. From my table orders, and their revenue should be highest. That means the revenue should be maximum. Is this clear? We need to find out the maximum revenue first. So how we can find out the maximum revenue? How we can find out the maximum revenue? By using max. Let me write over here. So I'll find out my maximum revenue as well. I'll say that I want to have maximum revenue, total revenue. From my table CTE. So this is going to give me maximum revenue. So if you will see your maximum revenue, it will be 500, right? I'll save it in my CTE2. CTE2 S, right? Now I want to have those product ID. I want to have those product ID where I'll write here as maximum. I want to have those product ID where my total revenue is equals to maximum. You can also do this question with multiple methods. You can use window function and many more. So total revenue is from which table? Total revenue is from my CTE table. And my maximum is in which table? It's in CTE2 table. Is this clear? So I want to have that product ID where my total revenue equals to maximum. I hope it is clear with everyone. If I will run this syntax, let me run it. Hmm. Execute. Okay, we did some mistake. Okay, just Very silly mistake I did. Whenever we are writing multiple CDs, we don't put with again and again. That was a silly mistake of mine. So here you can see that 101 is the product ID where my total revenue equals to maximum. I hope this is clear with you. Very good question. You can also try it with multiple methods and do let me know your answers in the comment box for sure. Great. Now let's have a look towards our next question. The next question is we need to rank restaurant by their daily orders. So we need to rank the restaurant on the basis of their daily orders. Okay, great. So how we are going to do that? So to rank the restaurant, to do proper ranking, what we are going to use? We are going to use tens rank, right? All right, tens rank. I want to do on the basis of their daily orders. Well, at partition by their order date. First, on the basis of daily orders, I have to give them order as well as I'll write order by the number of orders will be quantity. And those who have the highest quantity will be first, and other will be second. Is this clear? That was again my silly mistake. I don't know what's happening with me today. No worries about that. And from which table it is? From my orders table. Orders. Now here you can see that if I will run it on the basis of quantity and their order date, we can rank them, right? Is this clear with you? I'll give the Helias over here as ranking. That's how you can do this question. Again, you can do one question with multiple methods. I'll be looking forward to your answer also in the chat box. And these all questions that we did today are one of the most important questions that you should know. Okay, so thank you everyone. Have a good day. And do let me know your answers for sure. All these things will also be provided in the description box. Thank you. Have a good day.